We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. First carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A very solid gain of 27.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. A handoff to Barkley. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Detroit!
They're going to look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. Now back to throw. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. He's going to get it running right. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. They'll set up a throw. Steps away to his feet. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ryan Anderson able to drop it for a loss of 12. And it'll be 4th down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now Gostkowski will come on to try a field goal. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, 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 gun.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And his throw here's incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. Now, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep, it's Odell Beckham. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Throw left side complete to Ingram. And all the way 35. A big play there for the Giants. 45 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And they're running right through it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much since.
Gone!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. Gostkowski the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, if something got there, we have to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And he's got a moonwalk. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. You can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coached some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
They go play action here on 1st down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. the gun. They'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
He'll look to throw, and he fends him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Dalvin Tomlinson able to run him down for a loss of a yard.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. And down inside the 15 he goes. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And while there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, with the identity.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
On play action, they'll throw. And he's got it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
They'll go to P-Ryan, trying to pound it in. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some...
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. It's their quarterback with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Redskins have made this a one-score game. Extra point good by Catanzaro. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. And this one's incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Lucky 56. Gone.
They'll drop to throw. And running with power here. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep is Tavon Austin. But he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taking it about the 16. Nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He'll get this out to his running back, P-Ray. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the 1st.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Not enough there for a 1st. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Two minutes remain here in the 1st half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Back to throw now on 1st down. Trying to improvise. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you have to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Looking to throw. And that is caught. but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time, and that'll bring up second down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Back to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Now Chandler Catanzaro for the field goal here. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Detroit!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He finds an opening past the 40. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Gone!
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to walk one deep left side here. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They're going to look to throw. Airing one out for Crowder. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Credit the secondary and credit the defensive game plan. They've been in his hip pocket all game long. They understood coming in that he was a big-time receiver.
On 3rd down, it's Austin. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Back to throw. Flush to his right. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Beckham, the return. Dances by him. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Ryan Anderson not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. The pitch goes to Barkley. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. A pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them. No pickup.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. Now Austin. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, Give him 15. And that will come the offense as they take over. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. Finding room inside the 40. Slipped past him.
Where'd he go?
And all the way down to the 17-yard line. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
Every team in the league always wants explosive plays, breakout plays, and even more so when it's your horse who's had a tough time during the game.
Yeah, not that great in the first half. Maybe he can recalibrate here in the third and then carry that over to the fourth.
I like that. Recalibrate. Strong.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jake Ryan coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and a mile. Now back to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Detroit! Detroit!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 15.
Set! Green 39! Green 39! Gun! 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 Gun!
They'll look to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete. But pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he will at least be able to fall on it himself, but it was fourth down, and the possession changes.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Giants! Tyrell Williams, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Now a hit and a loose football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline and use him well.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
Detroit! Detroit! Leopard! Leopard!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Redskins with the football, but trailing here as we get down to the good stuff. Quarter number 4.
Detroit! Detroit!
They go play action here on first down. Caught on the right side. Reed. Another nice move. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
How about that little piece of athleticism? Not only the catch, how about the move?
That's not a third down back out there either. That's a tight end making that move. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On play action, they'll throw. Forced out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Dalvin Tomlinson in there to get him for a loss of 5. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense?
In his defense. I got it,
You
yeah.
see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. They'll set up to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for a Nunwa there. 3rd down here. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses, understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Check. Motion out of the backfield. Motion out of the backfield. Hut!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Buying time to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Redskins go for it, but it doesn't pan out. And the Giants are going to get the football back. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.